So once again, we're going to look at some more of the fruit that is produced in us naturally when we really engage and come to understand and know more about who God is and who He has made us to be. What is our identity in Him? And so when we know that God, who is this emotional, personal being, wanting to relate to us within this kingdom that is so diverse, inviting us to come to Him as we are, and understanding that in order to do so, He Himself makes us holy and set apart. When this really becomes a truth deep in our heart, then we will naturally begin to produce the fruit of skilled craftsmanship, because we understand the value of the gospel is expressed through the quality of our art, and we will have a desire to express this, to express God's majesty. Because the fruit of an artist who reflects God in everything is that their skills will become developed and enhanced. And this happens when we press on to grow. And fully knowing who God is and who He's made us creates a desire to press on, to grow these incredible gifts that He's given to us. Our dedicated efforts then reveal how important God and His kingdom is. We can see this, a beautiful example of this, in Exodus 31. This is during the time where God was creating His tabernacle to be the place where He would dwell with His people. This was an expression of His kingdom, of His plan from the beginning. And so He wanted it to reflect this glory, His own glory. He wanted the people of Israel to see how beautiful He was, how majestic He was. And so He chose specific artists and He gave them the skill. It says that He chose Bezalel and He filled him with the Spirit of God, giving him great wisdom, ability, and expertise of all kinds of crafts. He called him a master craftsman, an expert in working in gold and silver and bronze and engraving, a master at every craft, in fact, he says. But He also gave him another artist to work along with him, whose name was Oholiab. But he says, moreover, I have also given special skill to all the gifted. See, skill does matter to God because God knows that that is one of the great ways that we can reflect who He is in all His glory, in His majesty, and all this greatness that we've already been looking at and discovering. In fact, through that whole time where God is describing to Moses how He wants the tabernacle to be created, and when He describes how it is, 15 times He uses the word skilled. So we know that skill matters to God. And in knowing this, when we truly in our hearts are moved by who He is and who He's made us to be, we have this natural desire to grow and enhance our own works, because we know that when our work becomes of higher quality, it will become a clearer reflection of His own majesty, just like His own creation already does. Psalm 19:1 says, "The heavens proclaim the glory of God, the skies display His craftsmanship." So skilled craftsmanship, like creation, expresses that the kingdom of God is worthy of our time and our effort and is of great value to us. That's why Paul told the Colossians And these words speak to us as well when he says, work willingly at whatever you do as though you're working for the Lord rather than for people. Because when we do so, we reflect to the world that God is majestic and that the greatest value, the most wonderful thing is living with him in his kingdom, the kingdom of God. And this is why we press on to train ourselves, to build our own crafts, the skills and gifts that he's given to us. We give them back to him by growing them, not so that he'll be more pleased with us, but simply because out of a joy and a generosity and a gratitude in our heart, we want to do the best that we can to reflect the best of who God is.